most starving artists do.
So what are you doing? Nothing. Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio. The opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing. Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle.
You know I blame it on industry. I blame it on my own hypocrisy. Miseducation and politicians. No one's willing to step up and speak.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Face Radio Show. My name is Al Graham, and we are coming to you live here at lifestyleradio.ca and on Spreaker Radio. Tonight, my joint host is Debbie Stoll-Skiffen, and she has brought us a guest whose voice is heard far and wide and gets involved in helping patients. But before we learn more, I'm going to have a little very quick talk with Debbie. Debbie?
Hey, Al.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and you?
Oh, not too bad. You know, as I was mentioning to the listeners last week, I'm dealing with a bit of tendinitis in the feet.
Ouch.
Yes. You can say that again.
Anything cannabis-related you've found to be helpful?
I'm using a topical cream.
Right on.
Yeah. It was an anti-inflammatory. Being that I have Crohn's disease, I can't take an anti-inflammatory medication, like a pill or anything. Right. So you have to use topicals. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so.
I don't have Crohn's, certainly, but with my MS, I had so many reactions to the steroids and the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories that I'm like you. Anti-inflammatories, forget it.
Forget it. Yeah, you gotta deal with things without them, and you know, if it takes a little longer, it takes a little longer. You know, nothing you can do about her. You know.
But topicals definitely a good way to go.
Yes, and talking about topicals and stuff like that, you guys got some festival coming up with Mom?
Well, actually, we do. Thanks for asking, Al. July 22nd to 24th is actually our 9th annual Harvest Fest. We started off in October in more of your typical Harvest Fest time of the year and have slowly actually edged it forward to July just because the weather's much more suitable to camping and that sort of thing.
Correct.
But it's all on completely private property in a totally isolated area in rural Nova Scotia. We have rough camping, of course. We have outhouses on site, but it's going to be a weekend of education. We're concentrating on concentrates, and there will be a number of demonstrations going on, including one that our guest is going to be doing from the stage that we'll probably hit on briefly in our conversations with him. Nice. But there's also going to be entertainment, vendors, a variety of things going on throughout the Friday night and all day Saturday, and Saturday afternoon at 4:20 we'll be doing the announcements of the winners for the John Cook Memorial Cup. And in fact, I spent all afternoon helping a few others on our committee to prepare the judging pack so they could be distributed for judging purposes in advance of the event.
Very nice, very nice. Now, is this something that anybody can attend to? Like, I realize when it comes to the judging, that's all separate. But when it comes to coming into the place with the entertainment and the education, is that available for people just to show up at the gate?
Oh, certainly. Because there are so many people out there who really are patients that as you well know, for whatever reason, haven't been able to receive that golden signature from their physician. And there are a number of people with medical conditions or have family members with medical conditions that just want to learn more about things like making and using oil, making topicals like you were just mentioning that you've been using for your tendinitis, all that sort of thing that people can come and learn about, ask questions about, and that sort of thing.
That's fantastic. That's what that's education. That's what people need, and people are looking for that. I know that from my experiences here with Pace and through the flea market that we're at the booth there with Cannabis, people of any age are looking for information.
Well, they're thirsty for information.
Yeah, that's a good word. That's a good word.
At our conference that we had in April in Truro, which is approximately the same location that the festival will be in, at least in that general area, we had a gentleman in tears because he was suffering from depression, among other things, and desperately wanting to get off of the chemical medications he'd been prescribed and on to taking something more natural so that he could have his life back.
Yeah, exactly. Get his life back. Quality of life improvement, big time. So, well, talking about patients, yes. Just quickly before we bring our patient in, where can people get tickets to this, Deb, or find out any more information?
Well, actually, we have the best, quickest place to go to look for any kind of information is on Facebook. Look for the Maritimers Unite for Medical Marijuana Society, and the pinned post at the top of the page is our Harvest Fest page.
There you go. Good.
Certainly, it's too late to participate in the cup because, well, we actually, at this moment, I think we may have 2 edible packs left, and as I was mentioning, we've divided them all up, and the distribution has begun.
Good. Yes, got to give those patients time to test everything, don't you?
Well, for sure. We didn't see any point in doing it all in a 24, 36, 48-hour period because you can't really give anything justice.
Exactly, and I've seen that happen in the past. So, alrighty,
sure.
Let's bring our guest in. We got a guest here tonight, and I'd like to welcome Elijah to the Pace Radio Show. Elijah, are you there?
I'm right here, and I feel the love.
Good. How are you doing tonight?
Having a fantastic time. I'm a fan of the show, fan of Moms, and looking forward to this year's Harvest Fest.
Yeah, I imagine. I have some friends down here, actually. Deb from the business that helps sponsors the Pace Radio Show, BMA Hydroponics. From my understanding, she's going to trip down there and see you guys.
Well, actually, yes. Deb and Linda are both planning on coming down and actually going to, as one of the top 3 topical winners at the Lift Expo, they've been asked to do a demonstration on solve making.
Nice.
So not only are they coming, I'm taking the liberty of putting them to work.
Putting them to work. We won't tell them.
Thank you. Just tuck that under your hat, will you? You too, Elijah. Since you'll have the privilege of meeting them. Thank you. It is.
yeah, because I will be seeing Deb here shortly, so I'll make sure I won't say anything to her. So
she says anything, I'll know where it came from.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you and Elijah get started here and get some questions going, and I will jump in as the night goes along.
Sure. Thanks, Al.
Oh, no problem.
And I'll do my best to keep an eye at the time, and you remind me if you have to. Always.
It's the only time allowed to be, as some people would call it, rude.
Oh, you're never rude.
No, I know.
Gentle reminders. Before we get into conversations Elijah, I want to take a minute and thank you in case we don't have an opportunity. Elijah's kind of wearing two hats. One we'll touch on briefly, and it's Intention Events. And Intention Events are actually one of Mum's Gold sponsors for the Harvest Fest this year. Elijah's coming and doing our sound, lights, and some of our DJ work, and we're really looking forward to working with him.
Oh, we're honored to have a chance to come down and to be there as part of the night's entertainment on Friday and Saturday. I understand there's going to be a really cool DJ too. We'll be glad to have them up on the stage. And with all these great things on the go, I'd love to do some profiling of patients and what medical cannabis has done for them. Have maybe a little impromptu show and really just a great hangout with some of the coolest people in Atlantic Canada, and I guess some from across Canada.
Yes, we know of, as we were mentioning earlier, some folks from Ontario. There are at least a couple of vehicles of people coming from Ontario, and I heard the word caravan in one message that I got this morning from someone hoping to bring others with them.
Caravan just brings to mind medicating.
Yeah, I can see this great big long line of vehicles going down the road. Patients coming together.
And every 3 or 4 hours, like a wagon circle of everybody, putting their vehicles in a big circle and safely medicating in the middle, eh?
Pioneering.
There. Maybe where you're coming from, New Brunswick, Elijah, you could get in on that in one of the medication stops and do some filming. You never know.
It's going to be very exciting to have a chance to come down, have a lot of fun, make some new friends and connections, and, of course, to further patient access.
Well, that's the name of the game, isn't it? Patient access.
Yeah, and for patients, Deb and the gracious host, everyone tonight, we're talking about you out there tuning in. We care about how you feel. We care about your conditions, your illnesses. We want you to have fair access to medical cannabis, and I think I speak for us all when I say we're all extremely excited about the potential changes moving forward as early as August within the medical cannabis industry in Canada.
Oh, I know.
Well, it's certainly going to be interesting.
I know. I'm really interested to see what happens come August the 24th, if not sooner. See what they say.
Yeah.
Do we end back up in court again?
Well, I just hope Justin will come down and join me for a backyard barbecue and sign up for a medical cannabis license, like on my Elevator strain review.
I seen that listed.
Come down for a backyard barbecue and get baked, eh?
Well, he's only done it a couple times before. I wanted it to be familiar, Maybe do some ASMR whispering. Hey, Justin, smoke this. Of course, once he's got his license, of course.
Yes. Of course, once he's legal.
Stress.
I hope I'm not taking the show to some strange new plateau here.
No, we've got Al in the background who can pull the plug if you do.
Oh, goodness gracious. He's a gentleman and a scholar, I know it.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Well, I'm just really thrilled with the whole idea of having a chance to help Canadians across all of Canada get access to medical cannabis through MMPR, firstly. What they do after that fact depends on their own personal preferences and where they're going and the kind of access and the medicine that they're looking for. But with respect to what I'm able to do through the Medical Marijuana Review Show is have a team of doctors across Canada who can, help patients through the benefits of technology, through a very quick process. Like, you guys, like, honest to goodness, we're all friends here. It took me about 12 years to get my medical cannabis license. That's too long.
Oh, 12 years. That's 12 years way too long for sure.
Well, I really set myself up for success with the fast track program because anything's faster than 12 years.
Yeah, anything is for sure. Wow.
Now, what would you think, Elijah, if the new system had such a thing as all you needed was a diagnosis and that provided basically instant access to the medicine that you needed?
Oh, hallelujah. I mean, really, this is really about patient access. And at the center of all these arguments, these laws, innocent people in victimless crimes in prison right now, really all this is about this poor patient. Any patient is a poor patient, in my opinion, in as much as that they have to go through life with a condition or suffer. And they really should have easy access to high-quality medicine. And, I'm excited to see, what's coming for Canada because things are looking great, and this Moms Festival is certainly going to be the best yet.
We've got our fingers crossed for sure.
Well, there's a lot of great people put some time in, and I noticed I was checking out some of the vids on the location. You had some more chainsaw work done, cleared out some more areas, lots of people helping out.
It's certainly coming along. The stage is next on the agenda, and with any luck at all, that may be happening this weekend.
Oh, beautiful, yeah. I really wanted to make it to a Skype meeting, but I've been trying to mix these pieces for an advancement of a piece of music I've been working on. I've been working on about 5 records for 20 years. I've got the first one nearly done, and it's just taken forever because life gets in the way of being an artist, really.
So you perform music as well?
Yeah. All the music in my show, except for, of course, the Backstreet Boys parody, but all the opening theme music, all those instruments, that's all me. There's none of this garage band BS. It's me on each instrument, sit down and nail it. But I do like electronic dance music, and where music's going is interesting. As long as it keeps going that way, I'll always have my niche nailed. All that weird stuff. I love it.
Right. So
I'm as easy top guy,
You do music, you sing, you're a DJ, and you're helping patients with access to medicinal cannabis. You got a full plate?
Yeah, that's right. But before I did all this, I was actually all kinds of different things in the Canadian financial institution, the banking industry. So I was formerly, a mutual fund consultant before they changed the title designations and requirements to meet the new criteria for education requirements. I was an investment banker at one point. Interesting little title for someone who just helped people plan for their retirements. Interesting line of work that led to getting into these lines of work. And I met some very, very wonderful people in the medical cannabis industry. I met some great folks that were LPs, and I met some great folks in other areas. And it's been really a great learning experience to see that it's really, no matter which angle you look at it, there's a patient there. And it's about that patient getting the relief that they need. And I myself personally am sitting here. I couldn't be happier. I've been using a Volcano Digital from Stores & Bickel, a very fantastic machine. And I've been checking out a lot of fantastic strains from Takuno Lam. But I'm very excited to test out so many different great seed strains and a lot of the different medicine that's out there. Things are on the grow in Canada like I've never imagined possible. It might seem to some like Cheech and Chong legislation, but at the essence of it all still, as silly as it can seem, with the sort of dichotomy within the industry of LPs and dispensary and patient access through former MMAR. As I've come to wrap my head around all of this, it's important to note that regardless of jokes and funny and fun, it's really about you, the patient, the person listening in now. And, Debbie is a terrific resource in the industry with many friends who can help. Al and all the folks here from the show, Again, I feel very honored to have a moment to shoot my mouth off. Just turn my mic off if I'm talking too much here. There's dead air, and I'm like, oh God, did everybody die? Oh, the zombie apocalypse!
I'm letting you finish here. We have lots of time. We got lots of time to talk. But right now we have to go to a commercial break. So we're going to take a break. And tonight, the Tall Brothers are our featured band. We'll be playing a little bit of their music before we go into our commercial. And the song we'll be playing today is You Get Me Too High. And when we return, Debbie and I will continue our talk with Elijah. This is the Pace Radio Show on lifestyleradio.ca.
Love it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
You get me too high. I overanalyze. If you've ever been too high, then you can sympathize. You get me too high. And I start to fly. If I said some silly thing, then that's the reason why. Shiva, my sativa, you get me too high.
Canada, the time to act is now. These days, your customers are seeking variety. Increase your earning potential by expanding your inventory with CC Nexus, Canada's largest cannabis seed wholesaler. CC Nexus stocks over 60 reputable breeders, including Canuck seeds, with a wealth of autoflower, regular, feminized, and CBD strains. All first-time customers will receive a free pack of Canuck seeds, plus a mug, t-shirt, and additional promotional materials. Add strains and increase your profit with CC Nexus, your Canadian-owned and operated wholesaler of cannabis seeds. Discreet, worldwide stealth shipping from Canada, supporting you locally. Call today, 1-844-843-7995, 1-844-843-7995, or visit us at ccnexus.global.
The following is a public service announcement from the Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners Society. The Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners Society is a non-profit organization dedicated to ensuring improved access to therapeutic cannabis and cannabis byproducts in Canada. With a federal government that has committed to legalizing cannabis, we feel it is our duty to ensure that the medicinal use of cannabis doesn't get lost in the process and that there are clear distinctions made between the medicinal and recreational use of cannabis. It is our mission to ensure that government regulation doesn't get in the way of a sick, disabled, or terminally ill person's right to use or produce this amazing natural health product. If you would like to get involved, you can contact us on the internet, www.canadiantherapeuticCannabisPartners.com, on Facebook, CTCP Society, or search Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners.
This is Al Graham of the Pace Radio Show. Are you keeping pace, as in keeping people advocating cannabis education? If you're not, and you're a cannabis consumer, then why not? Others are working hard every day to help educate people about cannabis so you can enjoy your daily 420. Get involved and speak out. Be loud and proud so that you can keep pace. Tune into the Pace Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear about people advocating cannabis education here on lifestyleradio.ca.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMPR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
BMA offers cannabinoid testing, so if you want to prove you've got good medicine, head to BMA Hydroponics and prove it.
Hey, she get me too high.
Hello and welcome back. You're listening to the Pace Radio Show live here at lifestyleradio.ca as well as on Spreaker Radio. Or you can find us afterwards at other audio locations such as Mixcloud and TuneIn Radio. This is a quick reminder to let everybody know that this coming Friday, in 2 days here, Canada Day, that I will be broadcasting live on location from Peterborough Cannabis Day event, located obviously in Peterborough. I'll be joined by Al Rapp of the 420 Radio Show, as well as possibly a few others. While I'm at the Cannabis Day event, I'll be speaking to the event organizer, Wayne Matheson, as well as others who will be attending. This includes Jason Wilcox of the Cannabis Rights Coalition, Michael Puff Dog Thomas of Dads for Marijuana, he'll be there. Robin Hawkins, the son of Ronnie Hawkins, he's going to be performing, so I'm going to try to get an interview with him.
I love Ronnie.
Plus there's a new local dispensary owner who's in the area. He wants to have a talk with us, so we can talk to him about what's going on in Toronto and everything. And on top of that, I'll be speaking to people who are all in attendance, people who are there. So join Al and myself with our guests Friday. Friday from noon till 5 p.m. for live coverage of the Peterborough Cannabis Day event here at lifestyleradio.ca. Tonight on the Pace Radio Show, I'm joined by our guest, Elijah of the MMPR Review Show. We're going to talk about that here in this next segment. Plus my joint host, Debbie Stoltz-Giffen of the Maritimers United for Medical Marijuana. Debbie, Elijah, how did the commercial treat you?
Loved it.
Good. Got to see our latest commercial on there, CC Nexus. They've joined us here just recently. So, nice to hear from them. All right, cool. Elijah, Debbie, let's hear about Elijah's show that he has.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. And again, it's great to be on Pace here tonight, to be hanging out with the good people from Moms. Debbie, hey, how you doing? And, of course, the cool cats here at Pace. The MMPR Review Show, www.medicalmarijuanareviewshow.com, is where I actually launched my funny reviews about medical cannabis strains as I entered into this new phase of my life where, rather than running to big pharma and taking things which had side effects I didn't know if I felt comfortable with as a Canadian medical patient, it just seemed like a no-brainer to try cannabis as an alternative medical therapy. Of course, I had tried cannabis before, long-haired musician. It didn't take long to eventually discover the fact that you could have extraordinary focus and even beautiful events like musical hallucinations as wonderful side effects while treating, say, something like depression. And that kind of kills two birds with one stone, doesn't it, guys? When you really think about it, that if you could medicate, get past, say, something like depression or, say, anorexia, it'd be very easy to definitely become hungrier and have at least that change of thought. There's so many great things, so many wonderful things that they've unlocked as they've discovered the truth about medical cannabis. And I can't even contain my excitement as I began to make partnerships with various physicians and become an insider and understand the process. It's just simple. For $249, we at the medicalmarijuanareviewshow.com and our partners can help you to get that doctor's appointment, bypass the wait time with Health Canada. Now, that can be extensive. In my case, it took me about 12 years to find the right people to get approved for medical cannabis. That is too long. I went a long time hurting, street medicating, getting lung infections, getting ripped off. Instead, here's my life now. Instead of a $7,000 a year pop bill, I have a medical cannabis bill that's well under a couple of $1,000s cheaper. And to me, that is just terrific because of the cost savings as a patient. Now, as an industry insider, it is a blessing and a privilege to get to know you all, patients and friends, as I connect and help you to get your medical cannabis license and get you connected to a licensed producer so that under Health Canada regulations, you can order medical cannabis. Now, a lot of the trusted dispensaries, high-quality dispensaries, the good people that understand there's this huge pie out there, they're only going to help you, if I'm right, if you've got your medical card. Anything less than that, it's not that same kind of level of service. And unless you're talking about certain areas, like in BC, I hear it's a bit different. They've got doctors on site. I look forward to the day as I grow this business, as my patients help me to grow this business, as my customers help me to grow this business, to get my way out to BC and develop long-term lasting partnerships out there. I have people that cry to me about getting cannabis prescribed to them. They tell me how much it's changed their life. And that in itself is payment in enough. I mean, for you to be involved in someone's life intimately in any way, shape, or form is a bit of an honor, because we're all very busy achieving our little empires. But to be thanked and to know that you've touched someone's life, it means a lot to me. And let me say this: you cannot at this point get something like Phoenix Tears from an LP. And, am I going to look at someone that's dying of cancer and say, you shouldn't have Phoenix Tears or CBD? No, I'm not. And, people just have to read between the lines to understand how important it is that changes happen within the health system in Canada to allow patients to have access to important products that are high quality, that are tested, that are accredited, and that have huge brand value and can bring goodwill and healing to patients. So I feel like, I think I've said enough. I feel like, though, I'm honored to be surrounded by you guys and to hear you mention good people like Jason Wilcox, HIV positive, suffering for, I think, 22 years. I heard him in one of his recent videos. I've been interested in his shows, and I've been reaching out to Jason, and I hope you tell him hello from the Medical Marijuana Review Show, and that I'm not avoiding him. Love to chat with him whenever he's ready. He sounds like a really cool guy, cool cause. He's been through a lot, and I'm just learning as I go in this industry. I'm just glad to be able to get $200 of incentivization back to the patients who sign up for me.
I see.
So really, it's
I
a
see
$49 fee.
I'm on your website, and I see that it says something about a $200 credit.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. Currently, I'm a patient of MedRelief.
Yeah,
and I've been experiencing my own $200 credit available to me in $25 increments over an 8-month period.
Oh.
And that was important to me because, when I first started the Medical Marijuana Review Show, it's very expensive to have a sound stage. It's very expensive to bring people into your life to take their time and to put episodes together. By the way, that Trudeau episode took me 2.5 months to put that little piece together. I think it was the medication slowing me down.
Well, hey, it means it was effective. Now I also see here on your website, okay, when you mentioned the $249 for your annual membership, I also see that you help veterans.
Yes, just a second. Huge part of the equation. My brother served in Afghanistan, and his unit was attacked, and he was an IED guy. So him and 3 dogs and 2 other cats cleared an explosive investigation, but there was something else hidden, something the dogs couldn't sniff, something all kinds of people overlooked, and the bomb went off, and it took out a piece of collateral. My brother went flying. And, it's funny, they can't talk about these ops. I'm being very candid here. They can't talk about these ops. I didn't hear about this till after he retired from the service, but they can't talk about these ops. But I had this feeling at one point that something terrible was going on with my bro. He called me 2 days later, and he was real shaken up. And obviously this would have been during that period. So my brother came home, and he had discussed how some of the people that had come back were adjusting more easily rather than on antipsychotics, let's say, based on their experiences and, say, their conditions they suffered from upon return from a war environment. were really getting treatment from medical cannabis. And the interesting thing that kept popping up was that there was an Israeli attachment to some of these medical cannabis, and this is where I found out about Med Relief and Tikkun Olam, and my brother had signed up and become engaged with an LP, and he became very adjusted, as opposed to stressed out, because when he first came home, he was a bit of a ball of intensity, and I'd never known him to be like a very gentle guy, and he just went over to do some good, and come home quite stressed. So it was neat to see that. And if you'll note, one of my good friends, sponsor on the show, a couple of the episodes there that are out, and by the way, there's 50 episodes that have been pre-taped. They're just all trickling out now. But you'll see in the first few episodes there, my good friend Noah Starr, again, a decorated Canadian veteran, and he had received some shrapnel and I believe a bullet wound to the shoulder. And, he could have been the guys he was sent out to rescue. And apparently they were attacked during the rescue, and a lot of lives were lost. So I know personally good friends who have really benefited from medical cannabis, and they're not suffering like somebody with MS. The people with MS have a whole different kettle of fish. An affliction. It takes a lot of love, and it takes a lot of medicine. But these PTSD people, a lot of people don't know they're suffering, and so long story short, God, I talk a lot. Veterans, we care. We waive the friggin' fee. We waive the fee. We get that covered through VAC. Even if it's not a pensionable injury, we'll still get you signed up and scripted. And we want you to do the thing through the LP. But if somebody chooses to get access to additional medicines or other medicines in another fashion, I mean, I'm not mad at patients for having access. It's a huge pie. I just want people to get better. So we're all about veterans. I've got lots I've been working with. I think the thing that's harder for me than veterans, and a lot of them have a lot of stories, is the other side of it, first responders. We also can waive the fee for first responders. Nice. We take that initiative based on the stories, that they have to tell about their surviving.
And speaking of first responders, before I lose that thread of thought, and sorry to just cut you off cold turkey, but remind me when you're at the festival to introduce you to someone from Ontario who's very interested in assisting first responders, and she, I'm sure she's going to find all of that extremely interesting.
Oh yeah.
Just didn't want to let an opportunity to slip by, because I'm sure it's going to be a busy weekend, and maybe with two of us with that mindset, we might be able to make that happen.
Well, with many hands, the work gets light, and I'm feeling the love from Pace. I love the way you treat me as a guest. I've done plenty of appearances on some Colorado radio, but really, I think what sets a good host apart is the people that they surround themselves with, the guests they choose, and of course the manner in which they treat them. And I've got to say, I've got a lot of respect for what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
I feel it's a privilege to be part of it. I will note this: I've got a small staff right now, a 3-person staff, and we're going to have the mums' pictures up for the festival, both on www.intentionevents.com, your wedding experts and event experts, and also on www.Medical Marijuana Review Show. Right on the main page, you'll be able to click there, find out about the Moms Festival up and coming, the Harvest, and it's going to be terrific. You'll be able to just click right there, and it'll bring you right through to the Facebook and or an additional group of information. And we plan to try and have the Google Maps available, or a map available as it becomes more available and as everything gets finalized. So we're really stoked. We're in this deep. We care about what Mums is doing. We care about this event. I'm praying that everything goes great for you tomorrow. You're going to Peterborough, that's right?
Yeah, we head there for Friday. Yeah. They are
Friday,
calling for
okay.
70% chance of rain, but how often is the weatherman right? Right? We were always complaining about the weatherman being wrong. Let's hope he's wrong.
I remember David Letterman was a weatherman.
No. Who was?
Yeah, David. I know, like we're
David
going way
Letterman.
back, man.
Oh, God.
I used to watch Johnny Carson every night.
Yeah.
Here's Johnny. Love it.
Okay, well, talking about Johnny, we got to go to a commercial. So just to remind you that tonight's featured band is the Tall Brothers, and their song is "You Get Me Too High." And when we return, Debbie and I will continue this conversation with Elijah. You're listening to the Pace Radio Show here at lifestyleradio.ca. Elijah, you're listening to the Pace Radio Show.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Shiva, my sativa, you get me too high. Get me too high. Hey Shiva, got a fever. You get me too high.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMPR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
BMA offers cannabinoid testing, so if you want to prove you've got good medicine, head to BMA Hydroponics and prove it.
The National Task Force on Medicinal Cannabis is a group of not-for-profit organizations dedicated to influencing government policy with factual evidence. Our mission is to ensure that a constitutional medical program is developed that will address the concerns of all Canadians that require therapeutic cannabis. The task force is looking for dedicated people who are willing to contribute to our cause. We have formed this task force to foster a unified approach and focus on lobbying the federal government and Health Canada. We represent the combined expertise of thousands of patients with more than a decade of experience. As a task force participant, you, your business, or your group will have an opportunity to show that you care and offer your unique skills to promote the cause. If you would like to get involved, go to medcanataskforce.org. That's medcanataskforce.org and use the Contact Us link to get started. Help us help you.
Tune into the Pace Radio Show and catch Kim Cooper, Debbie Stoll-Skiffen, or Allison Murden, along with myself, Al Graham, as we talk to Canadian and international cannabis advocates who are working hard to help patients and to end cannabis prohibition. Catch us live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at lifestyleradio.ca.
Canada, the time to act is now. These days, your customers are seeking variety. Increase your earning potential by expanding your inventory with CC Nexus, Canada's largest cannabis seed wholesaler. CC Nexus stocks over 60 reputable breeders, including Canuck seeds, with a wealth of autoflower, regular, feminized, and CBD strains. All first-time customers will receive a free pack of Canuck seeds, plus a mug, t-shirt, and additional promotional materials. Add strains and increase your profit with CC Nexus, your Canadian-owned and operated wholesaler of cannabis seeds. Discreet, worldwide stealth shipping from Canada, supporting you locally. Call today, 1-844-843-7995, 1-844-843-7995, or visit us at ccnexus.global.
I overanalyze if you've you've ever been too high, then you can sympathize. You get me too high. And I start to fly if I said some silly thing, and that's the reason why.
Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to the Pace Radio Show. We are being broadcasted live at lifestyleradio.ca as well as at Spreaker. Plus, you can find us at Shoutcast, YouTube, and other social media. We're just spread out all over the place. Tonight we feature the music of the West Coast band, the Tall Brothers. That's Bill and Tom Small. And their song, You Get Me Too High. These guys have quite a few cannabis-related tunes, all jazzy and everything. It's really enjoyable. So if you enjoyed tonight's bumper songs or the music, then check out these guys at tallbrothers.ca as well as on YouTube. Tonight on the Pace Radio Show, I'm joined by our guest, Elijah, of the MMPR Review Show, and my joint host, Debbie Stoll-Skiffin, who is with the Maritimers United for Medical Marijuana. Debbie, you still there? We didn't hear much from. Good. Gonna make sure you get some questions in here. So I'm just gonna become quiet, and I'm gonna let you ask away.
Oh, I'm good. I enjoy listening now and then too.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry.
See, that's what you become.
Sorry, you go ahead.
Sometimes you become a listener as well as a participant in the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. While you're doing it,
I'm hypnotic.
Oh, yeah. Huh?
Definitely, and I'm going to turn you into even more of a participant. I have a tendency to make a few notes as the show goes along, and when Elijah was talking during the first segment about what he had done in his, what I now refer to, his other life, before medical cannabis became such a huge part of his life, I'm wondering what you did in your other life.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, before it became this.
Said,
oh, okay.
I
was expecting that. What was I? Oh, okay. I was actually, I had worked steadily at a company called Camtran. I was a production quality assurance person. That was a company that I had started in 1982, as an outside worker, and I made my way all the way into management. I was a production supervisor over 65 different people that were on the floor. So
great job.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I was president of an off-road club. Had a big off-road event that I was involved in. And I was doing a little bit of writing on that, and then it all went to the shits when I got sick with Crohn's.
Oh,
so that's what I was doing.
Brutal.
That's what I was doing. Yeah, I was doing lightning stimulation tests, 125,000 volts, heading it through transformers and having it going right through the ground. It was pretty exciting.
All of a sudden,
yeah, when something went wrong, it just blew, just bang, It would blow up bushings and stuff like that, but you got to test these things, right? So.
What were you working at, HARP?
No, I was.
You weren't screwing with the weather, were you, son? Playing with them there jet streams.
Right on. Now I'm on to putting Elijah back to work.
Good, okay.
I did it again. I'm so sorry. Look, I try to be quiet.
No.
No, I was thrown off by Deb asking me a question instead of you.
Well, actually, that's exactly. It's funny you should ask that question, Deb, because I was sitting there thinking, for the love of God, ask the guy what he did before. All you do is ever talk about you, because I'm used to getting on the phone with patients and trying to set them at ease and walk them through a process. And it kind of is bled into everything else. And you guys are great, man. And I can't believe 65 people? Man, you could really farm the women there.
Production supervisor over 65 people.
Just kidding. Farm the women. Like I'm here all week.
All right, Debbie, go away. We'll get another question in here.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna throw out there. I had mentioned that we would touch on the demonstration that Elijah's going to be doing at Harvest Fest, and he actually mentioned the Volcano Digital during the second segment, I guess. So we can just kind of marry them up in the final portion.
Yes. And let nobody put it asunder. Yeah, I'll show you what a volcano sounds like on the internet. You feel me?
You're going to be demonstrating a digital volcano from the stage at Harvest Fest, as I recall.
That's right. We're actually going to do a planned out show, micro show on the road. Get some footage, tons of footage from the entire event, because we're really excited to be there, and we're going to have access to some of the intentionments.com stunning equipment to capture that. So we're going to have some very good lighting. I understand they're preparing a terrific stage area that will allow for a polished aluminum trussing system, 35 millimeter, a couple of them potentially, depending on the layout. I think we're going to have about 41 light fixtures. So we're going to really be able to light, pivotal areas up on the stage. We're going to have 4 remote control moving head spotlights and a standalone spotlight fixture. And we're really excited because, a lot of times events are fun, but they're more fun when everybody can see the entertainment, when everyone feels they're part of this happening. And they already are with a lot of the people that are going to be there are really, no doubt, heavily involved in the medical cannabis industry. They're going to be patients. I'm hoping to see friends like Evan Price there, owner of THC. I know Deb's going to be there and all the cool cats. Looking forward to seeing Chris. And, there's going to be so much happening at this month's Harvest Fest. You don't want to miss it. And if you want to get there, pick up your tickets. Just like Deb said earlier, you're going to want to go to Facebook, MUMS, Maritimers United for Medical Marijuana. You want to stand behind that. We appreciate you signing up. Tell me one thing here, Deb. I know that it's your court here, but what did you do prior to your adventure into medical cannabis?
We're taking turns.
Get the old spotlight on you.
Well, actually, the last job that I had lasted for 16 years before I developed symptoms that led to my ultimately being diagnosed with a progressive form of multiple sclerosis. And I had the great privilege to work at a local hospital on a long-term care unit that was designated specifically for geriatric war veterans. Started off in the early days for World War I, World War II. By the time MS had reared its ugly head, they were accepting Korean veterans on the unit as well.
Wow.
But I had the distinct honor of going in and creating an activity recreation volunteer department, if you will. It was sort of all rolled into my area of responsibility, and I went in and created the department from scratch.
Wow.
Wow.
And it was an incredible experience. In many ways, it sort of paved the way for many of the things that I'm doing now, really.
Yeah. It's you sort of fall back on that stuff, just comes natural to you. Like as far as helping, you're helping patients before at the hospital, and like you say, you fell right back and you're doing the same thing now, helping patients.
Hmm.
Yeah,
it's interesting,
sure.
Yeah.
And then created MUM kind of from the ground up with the help of others, of course, which, is basically what happened with my job as well.
Yeah. So, Elijah.
Yes, sir.
You're the MMPR Review Show. I'm just switching topics here. Focusing back on Elijah. You're with Med Relief. So do you do just Med Relief strains, or do you have other strains that you do as well that maybe patients pass along to you to do a review of them?
I am so open to the medical cannabis industry. It's not funny. In fact, I think there's a chasm that's long overdue where a bridge can cross. And I feel like I'm talking to two other cogs in that machine, in that wheel, part of that bridge, where we get over the differences in the industry and recognize that same core that we've all looked at so long, regardless of frame of reference. It's patient-centric. So yeah, I have done some tweed reviews. I haven't just been a patient of Med Relief. I've had more than one prescription through my physicians to allow me to facilitate, variety. My problem is money. It's an extremely expensive endeavor.
Sure.
Each episode costs me a small fortune. And so what I've done with my companies is usually I'll make enough money to pay for my next winter through into my next busy season. Because as an artist, G.G. Allen, any of those great musicians, they'll tell, or G.G. Smith, not G.G. Allen, G.G. Smith from the Saturday Night Live band, to tell you, you're not doing as much January, February, March as you'd like to. And so you've got to put away for that, then you get into it. So what I did is I took the successful season, and I said, okay, it's time to batten down the hatches. And I went in and I taped 50 episodes worth, and I've covered just about every Med Relief strain. After them, I've been looking at several different LPs, including Metrum, because they've got those oils. Some would argue they're watered down. And,
I have a patient who gives a thumbs up to the oil at Metrum. Just so you know. Yep,
and I know that they're great people at Metrum. So I mean, I'm very excited for that. The incentivization, I don't have incentivization across the boards, but to those that I have an affinity with, that I know where I'm able to secure that incentivization, absolutely offer. Right now, I've got 5 partners in the industry that I'm aware of. I just don't have time to be dealing with everyone yet. But I mean, as time moves forward, we're going to add more staff. We're going to have to. I mean, basically, I'm calling 30, 40 people a day.
Oh wow! Eh? So when people get a hold of you and you set up this appointment, I'm talking about some experiences from a company that is local to us as a signing clinic that has several branches in Ontario. And nice. What they're doing is they have their patients come back every 3 months. They require them to do urine samples, and they prescribe them a THC level. So they are restricted. So let's say they prescribe them 10% THC. That's all they can order. They don't get options of trying other strains to see what works for them. I'm assuming by your laughter, you don't have any of those things in place.
No, that's BS. I mean, it is and it isn't. Let me just say this. That is a business that's worried about their bottom line. That is a business that's also worried about patient access, right? But the loophole there, friends, and I know you're listening, Canada, and you're listening hard because, boys, this is interesting. The loophole is, what about the poor person who is destitute, broke?
Correct.
Maybe there's been a family tragedy. Child has died. For 4 months, they haven't had any money, and they're not going to ever have any money. And what are they going to do? They can't even afford 5 grams at a time. Maybe they can only afford 1 or 2. Well, where does, and so this begs the question, right? So no, I don't have or believe in, with my people at this point, the necessity of such things, because if somebody goes and doesn't fulfill their prescription, the physician may take a look at that from a physician standpoint, and they're going to engage in a conversation. Okay, you didn't fulfill your prescription. What's going on? A normal person would just say, hey, look, I have run into tough times. I can't afford this. I don't want my prescription to go down, but I did go to a dispensary. Mm-hmm. I mean, some doctors, that might end it for them. I'm not suggesting that any of my patients visit a dispensary or not. It's up to the individual. I want fair patient access. I want someone who needs Phoenix Tears and needs that CBD to melt that giant tumor off the side of their face to have access to that without a bunch of ridiculous Cheech and Chong legislation preventing it. And I know that the good people on Parliament Hill are up to something, because of good people that put them to the test and said, hey, what about our patient constitutional rights as Canadian citizens? Now, I'm sure over the next 20 years, those will all dissolve and Agenda 21 will take over, and we'll have a bunch of executive orders that'll lead up to it. Next thing you know, we'll be commoditized and chips in us and all that. But, I mean, in the interim, let's get some MMPR.
Well, as we know, the MMPR has been found unconstitutional.
Exactly.
We don't know what the new name is going to be, do we? Do we know what the new name is?
Well, I understood that our health minister, Philpott, had alluded to the MMPR being revised.
So it would be the same name. It would just be things corrected to make it constitutionally, so it's not challenged that way anymore, and it fits the Constitution. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say.
Constitutionally viable.
Correct. Yeah. Well, let's hope there's some really good stuff when it comes to all that, because I know a lot of patients that are looking to grow.
That's right. Me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just imagine what kind of reviews you could do then, and you could add more and more strains too, eh?
Well, we right now where we're at, I think MedRelief, we're at 20 some strains that we're just trickling out the reviews for. The Tweed, I met sort of with an impasse there. I just had some product come my way, and I just didn't enjoy the product, really, to be frank with you. I just wanted to send it back. It wasn't what I thought Tweed's standard of quality typically would be, and so from that point, I haven't ordered from them or renewed my prescription with them, but I did enjoy the strains that I was able to put the reviews out for, and they're quite coy. I did not release the videos of the Tweed strain reviews. I rather only released the written reviews. So there's really quite a lot of cool stuff on www.medicalmarijuanareviewshow.com. There's reviews of Tweed strains and MedRelief strains currently. And you know what? Let me just say this. Here I am. I'm on your show. I'm so honored. Check this out. Listen to me, Canada. Listen to me, dispensaries. I want to get to know you. I want to hear your story. I want to do videos about the changes coming. I want to do videos about your stores. I want to do strain reviews on your products too. I don't want to see a limited market. I want to see the pie grow. I want your businesses to grow. I want you to prosper. LPs, I want your businesses to grow. I want you to prosper. I appreciate the fact that you're sticking to every letter of the law. I understand the way that law works. It's a good thing, and it can be a two-edged sword. So I'm excited because I really feel that not every LP is trying to run the entire show. I think everybody realizes that there's a big market here, and we could all benefit. But it is disturbing to have seen what some of the things happened, I guess, recently with respect to the Dirty Word Project Claudia. Absolutely sad to see that.
Nasty.
Sad to see.
And not only is that, it's also the treatment that I look at the Toronto City Council has been doing towards the advocates who have been going there trying to speak to council and being on the agenda to speak to council and then having to be deferred constantly. That to me is getting tired as well. I've just got to stop you here for a minute, Elijah. I've just had a link sent to me, and this is very important. This is an announcement from the Government of Canada. The Government of Canada is to make an announcement regarding marijuana. Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould, Minister Jane Philpott, Parliamentary Secretary Bill Blair, and Parliamentary Secretary Michelle McCard will make an announcement regarding marijuana. They will be available to answer questions from the media following the announcement. This will happen tomorrow, June 30th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at the National Press Theatre on Wellington Street in Ottawa. It's going to be also on Periscope TV. It's also going to be available there. So
Isn't that incredible, guys? Here we are, part of history tonight.
Yeah. So this is posted at the Government of Canada's website, and I got to thank Al there from Lifestyle Radio and the 420 Radio Show for sending me that link so we can make the announcement to let everybody know what's going on. So tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Guess what?
Nothing like being
Planned
on
power
the cusp
outage here.
of breaking news, eh?
Yeah, really, eh?
It's not often we're doing the show at 10 o'clock at night and something new gets dropped out there in the media.
Well, you know what happened, don't you? Trudeau's on my show, and he wants to get his license.
Oh, yeah,
Come on
really.
now.
Wonder what it could be.
Justin
it's something
Trudeau, smoke with me. Come on now.
Wonder what it could be. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, they're not
the
medical program. Now, is there some court case or something that's forcing them on something that be making them to do something off like?
Well, I mean, Trudeau stood in Winnipeg at a dispensary, did he not? And he said, this place deserves to be open. Patients deserve fair access. Now, what he did after that probably happened if they turned the security cameras on. You know, if I was the Prime Minister, I'd be like, I'll take a bag of this, I'll take a bag of that, and a bag of this, and a bag of that. And that too. Oh, and a cookie.
Yeah, and a cookie, yeah.
Did you like that?
Wow.
I wasn't sure if I was losing you or not, eh? Because, you know, with the noise gate suppression technology on cell phones and, you know, with studio technology, it can make for a lot of dead air. So sometimes I'm not sure if I'm nailing these jokes or not. I hope it all comes out in the wash. I hope everyone's having a good time tonight.
Oh, yeah, yes. Oh, it's, it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to come out with tomorrow, so. Wow.
Well, I'm looking at it, and honest to God, isn't it the shortest press release in history?
It's got to be. There's no. I read the whole thing off. There's no information there as far as what is that, other than it's about marijuana. You know, are they going to finally? Are they going to finally maybe
everybody
come
gets
out?
a free medical cannabis prescription tomorrow. They're going to say, but you got to go to like Walmart that's connected to like Denver, Colorado airport. And you got to go through the deep underground military base and get commoditized. Thank you. I'm here all week. I think this stuff's hilarious. I don't mean to go on about the truther stuff, but it's all over the internet. Seeing all this great stuff, and I'm always getting this truther stuff. I just think it's hilarious, guys. Love it.
I'm wondering, is would they be maybe just finally going to come out and say they're going to stop, basically decriminalize till they get the legalized, so that patients aren't being victimized and being arrested? Like, are they finally Are they finally seeing the light to allow personal possession?
I hope so.
Because it's not right.
Yeah, they've sure toted a hard line on that one all along, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and they've always been coming out and saying, "Oh, we're not going to decriminalize because then people are going to be able to get it from the black market." Well, they're getting it from the black market now, so nothing's going to change. But they could just make a change somewhere to allow patients or people personal possession, so that they're not being arrested while these guys take their time making a new law, because it's just not right. So
I just want a better business model for the dispensaries, so that they've got a model for success, a model that allows them to have access to the free market. I think LPs should be able to do what they want as far as dispensaries as well. These are just personal feelings. I just want everyone to be successful at the end of the race.
Yeah,
and there's no reason why they can't be.
We were talking to Dana one time on the show, and he says, why are there just so few licensed producers? Why can't the people who supply dispensaries now, why can't they become licensed producers? And if they are MMPR licensed people, they are licensed producers.
In essence, they are, right, yeah, under that original legislation.
And they should be allowed to, they're supplying patients. And as we saw in the Allard decision, patients are allowed to supply patients.
I'm so excited about these changes and that we got to share that news tonight.
Yeah,
really speaks about the people you've aligned yourself with, again. And props to the 420 folks for being so cool and sending that through.
Yeah.
And again, a big shout out to dispensaries across Canada, LPs across Canada. If you want to contact me, you can. Now, LPs can't fund my show. Sometimes I get some pretty negative stuff, and it's pretty funny. But LPs
if you're negative,
you got
some money,
they can't pay me. This show is out of my own pocket. The benefit to me is helping patients, and the fact that I'm able to work it out equitably through Health Canada. Now, with the changes tomorrow, who knows what that'll bring? But I'll tell you something. I'm always going to be standing next to cool cats like you, spearheading patient access and spearheading the rights of the individual to enjoy this beautiful plant made by the Almighty himself.
Okay, Deb, have you got any questions for Elijah? I see we've gone past our top of the hour time, which usually does happen, which is fine. We that's good. It's good. We're allowed to do that.
It's awesome to have that latitude, and thanks to Al in the background, Al Rapp, for making that happen for us. It's wonderful.
Right. That's right, because it does happen.
It's been terrific.
Sitting back there in his little cloud of sativa, enjoying his evening.
Yes, he is.
We're telling on you, Al. Sorry. In a nutshell, Elijah, I've just got one more question for you. What would have been your absolute favorite show that you've recorded and uploaded?
Well, mine so far, I've got to say, has been the Mums episode. And why the Mums episode? Well, it's just so honest. It was such an easy group of individuals I got to know at a Mums convention. And I went there with some trepidation, being one who comes off as only pro-LP. You just simply need to talk to me to understand I'm pro-patient access, and yes, I've got friends that are LPs. Yes, I've got some friends that run dispensaries. I'd love to have more friends in my circle that way. So, I'm just excited to try and remember what the question was, because my medication is really hitting me. It's lovely. It's 27% Iran Almog from Takuna.
She asked you what your favorite episode was.
Love it.
All right. Okay. This is usually the time of the show where we get to do a shout out to our patient, or guest. I guess to promote their website. You can promote as much as you want on the website there. Let people know where they can find your shows, where they can get assistance to get licensed. And if you've got any guests regular guests that you'd like to throw a shout out to promote them, do so as well.
Awesome. Go ahead, Deb. You first.
I'd like to
Go ahead.
Put me on the spot again. Go for it. Twice in one segment of the show. You're into trouble now. You know what they say about payback. Well, actually, I'd like to give a shout-out of thanks to Luc LeBlanc from Moncton, give him a big thumbs up. He's hosting Moncton's what's going to be an annual event, but the first Cannabis Day ever. After a bit of back and forth with the city, the frontline employees rejected the request straight off because people would be smoking in the park, and you can't have smoking in the park. God forbid, what about the children? That kind of mentality. And Luke took it straight to the city councilors and sent them an email basically explaining to them that a similar event had been hosted in the Dartmouth area in Nova Scotia for over 20 years without any fallout, any ill precautions kind of thing. And basically it was going to be a gathering of patients who were well within their constitutional right to gather and medicate if they needed to. Luke at one point had almost given up and felt that the city weren't going to give him a thumbs up, that he would have to look at next year a private location, etc., but in the end, I believe it was late last week, he received word from the city that they have given him an absolute 100% approval to go ahead with the event. So it's quite huge.
Yes. Yes, fantastic.
And he very quickly managed to plan all kinds of cool things. They've got DJs. I think they've even got an acrobat. They've got a really nice bong giveaway. And for anybody who might be listening from the New Brunswick area, it's all happening at the Moncton Boar Park the afternoon of July the 1st.
Totally excited.
If you're listening and you're from Nova Scotia, you can find us at the Dartmouth Commons from 12 until 5.
Good. Elijah, have you got somebody you like, or your website? Throw that out to the listeners again.
First of all, I'd like to thank the good people at both Tweed and MedRelief for allowing me to do these strain reviews and being supportive and tweeting and retweeting. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'd like to say a special thank you to vape.ca, www.vape.ca. They live and breathe vaporizers. If you want terrific products, great prices, head on down there. Everything from Focus Vape to Haze Duo, clear on up to great stuff like the Silver Surfer and the Volcano Digital and beyond. So also like to say a special thanks to the IntentionEvents.com staff for being so bang up and being supportive and dropping everything as we move forward into gold sponsorship for this Mom's Harvest Fest. We're very excited to go there, be part of it, put on the best lights and the best sound. We're going to have linear arrays as opposed to traditional mono and stereo PA. We'll be using Bose technology and Yamaha open growth sound grids with Waves, my favorite Jewish company ever. Certainly fantastic audio there. Also like to say a special thank you to Mums, to Debbie Stoltz-Giffen for being such a wonderful gal, and to you, all my friends at Pace, Al, and everyone in the back office, back scenes, doing all the hard stuff. So it's been Elijah here on Pace Radio. You're tuning into Pace. You're checking it out. My buddies at Pace really make a real splash on the digital media realm with their incredible show. And this is Elijah from the Medical Marijuana Review Show saying these guys are awesome.
Thank you very much for your kind words. All right. Just a reminder to let everybody know that I will be back next Wednesday with my joint host Allison Murden and her special guest. You can find Pace on Twitter at Pace Radio, and you can also like the Pace Radio Show on Facebook, and we can be found on the web at pace-online.ca. Thank you to go out to our sponsors, the friendly folks at BMA Hydroponics, who are located in Belleville, Ontario, CC Nexus, who are Canada's largest cannabis seed wholesalers, LRAP of LifestyleRadio.ca. Also a big thank you to our guest, Elijah, of the MMPR Review Show, and my joint host, Debbie Stoltz-Giffen of the Maritimers United for Medical Marijuana. Plus a big thank you to you.
Always my pleasure.
Oh, thank you, Daddy. Plus, a big thank you to you, our listeners, for tuning in the program. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Thank you to you, our listeners, for tuning in the program. Thank you, and good night.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.